send out the link again. Doesn't do what I remember. Okay, on this dark and stormy night. It's not. Maybe it is stormy somewhere. It's not stormy here. 1 second. Well, I figure I might as well put this out there. Who knows? So I think there is like an automatic thing. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with Twitter these days, or anything for that matter. Propaganda is everywhere, as usual. The ape stuff, I don't, or at least the thumbnail was an ape. I even had some synchronicities with that. I thought that was kind of bizarre. Definitely wasn't looking for it. I just felt ape energies. I guess they're here, you can say. Technically, what are we? Yeah, the Planet of the Ape reality stuff like do exist. Yeah, you can say this life, I guess, is kind of short. Doesn't always feel that way. It feels like it's like a million years going nowhere. And that's probably true. Well, so incarnations that make no, or incarnation, yeah, whatever, doesn't matter. Incarnations that make no sense. So, yeah, to upgrade your, this is all about upgrading your energy, but also doing things that you don't want to do. That's part of the upgrade process. That's why the work 7 days a week and things like that. That's partly why that's there, because you're like exercising the soul. You're growing, and growth is like going to the gym. It's has to be no pain, no gain type of thing. So, and you have the ability to do where you're at, where you have the capabilities of it. Just it's on how you make it. You put 100% or whatever percent you want into it. But it is really about. It's kind of like the mouse and the wheel, just like on a spinning wheel, and you feel like you're going nowhere. But it's you brought yourself to that to get to that process, to go through all that. Yeah, just welcome to hell, right? Thinking about like somebody like Bill Gates, he might be wealthy, but it doesn't mean he's really going anywhere. I mean, maybe on the third dimensional level, yeah, he's surpassed expectations. But it doesn't mean on a spiritual level it's really going anywhere. I'm not sure if he even cares, for that matter. Now, there might be some high ranking to some, maybe like more military high ranking, not necessarily spiritual, meaning like you're put in that position for whatever reason. These things are just not, you don't want to know. Like that can take you out of your incarnation if you know too much about something like that. These things are just better off not knowing. At least at this level where society is. Of course, if you're in the astral, you can see it. Not everybody sees it, but here in the physical, we have to play out this this game, and doesn't. I mean, maybe energetically you can't see it, but it really will derail you physically knowing too much. You just know what you need to know here. It doesn't mean you can't know anything. It's just that there's certain elements you just can't know. You might fight for it. Like, you might saw 2020 ahead of time. I think I saw it ahead of time, and then I got sick. Out of nowhere, I was sick for like 6 months. So, yeah. And I think if I had a humidifier, it probably would have cleared that up. At the time, I just had to endure whatever it was. So, yeah. Of course, I went through a little bit of sickness recently, or a couple months ago, or before the hurricanes, but found a way around that. It's like, not this time. Can't do that again to me. It's like an allergy attack, you could say. So, but doesn't mean you have to look at your incarnation as well, from a victim's point of view, but there is a lot of growth there just to move up the ranks of your evolution. The harder it is, the more further you get. And of course, there are a lot of people here that are just difficult. That doesn't mean they're trying to be difficult. They're just having trouble here. Their traumas, their worries, all the stuff, check all the boxes of insanity. Just whatever. This is it's the Wild West here. It's just, without going into all the details of it, we can go into some of it at least. So it's going to be a little bit of all over the place for this one today. Alright, Zymatonic Con. Price sessions. Schedule where we have the shop here. Well, also individuals like to push back on their ascension, but that's no fun. But also dealing with helping others in their ascension isn't what it's cracked up to be. Yeah, it's patience. It all depends on. Well, if you're assisting somebody that's around you on their ascension path, they might be making all the dumbest decisions ever. But if you still have some kind of communication connection, that's something, it's the potential of a communication. So that shows they can still contact you whenever they get their act together. So it might take years, it might take forever. It's not something that doesn't mean you need to be waiting. Not everyone has to go through hell. Well, everyone has their version of it. Some have to go to the hell of themselves. They have to deal with themselves. It's like you said, you have to deal with somebody that's around you that is hell. That's just completely difficult. And then there's others that are difficult. And everyone's on fire but them. It's like, I don't know what you're complaining about. And they're the ones causing all the trouble. Then they can get things very easily too. And sometimes it's just not good enough, or they just nothing's good enough, and then they just walk over everyone and think, why is it so hard for you? It's so easy for me, and yada yada yada. They have to go through their own inner struggles. And so like in the Arab society, some of them are very difficult around women and just treat them like horribly, and don't see anything wrong with it. Indians do it too, and just they don't see anything wrong with it. And some of it's Anunnaki, some of it's serious. It feels like it's Anunnaki actually. Well, it's an abusive Anunnaki line that's very not self-conscious about what it's doing. And it comes back to the Anunnaki telling her about what to do and treating everyone like garbage, basically. At least it's not all Arab. It's definitely, obviously, Anunnaki's in the Arab, DNA, right? According to mythology. So yeah, there's some stubbornness or arrogance there just to walk over other, and not even think anything of it. Like they're standing on top of us. I don't know what you're complaining about. Treating a person like a rug. I don't know what you're complaining about. You want to be there, right? So, the Earth's energy. Of course, there is a lot of souls here, like it or not, are kind of teenagery. There's different levels there. Well, it's just like when you're a kid, you want to be an adult. So there's a lot of souls here that incarnate that feel like they can achieve, and it doesn't mean they can't achieve. It doesn't mean they're not intelligent. It's just you got to go through all of these layers to get to a certain level, and you have to have incarnation to get there. It doesn't mean this incarnation is meaningless. It still has purpose. You just have to go through, because yes, yeah, but. And yeah, some people feel like they're connected to those in the past life, like famous people, and there might be some truth to that. Well, this life is what matters. I mean, yeah, you might feel a connection to someone in the past, and there's probably some truth there to some level. If you keep feeling like you clear it out and you keep feeling it, like some people might feel like they're Mary Magdalene, for example. That's coming to mind for some bizarre reason. And yeah, there might be fractal connections. Isis is a popular one. And there might be other realities where you might have been Mary Magdalene or Isis, or who knows. There's definitely truth in that. The more confusing one is the Yeshua one. Like, were you Jesus in another lifetime? Like a version of it. There's probably some truth to that to some level, or something similar to it, like a Yeshua, and there's just similarities there. That's a tricky one, because it's like there's only one version of him. He has different versions of himself. But I mean, I did tap into some people have had similar incarnations. They might not have been called Yeshua, they've been called something else. And it doesn't mean they went through the cross situation, but some of them might have been. So or they're just nuts. Or they're just freaking crazy. And they just feel like they're everybody. Yeah, and that can be attachments and all kinds of shit. But yeah, success isn't always success, meaning as some, that's, yeah, those that are financially success doesn't mean they're really going anywhere. Yeah, they might have gotten to a level of comfort, but doesn't mean spiritually they're going anywhere. I mean, they're going somewhere, but not, the more pain, the more gain. Just the way it is. Oh yeah, Martha Stewart is the one I was tapping into. Yeah. That was the one I couldn't think of yesterday. So I should put that in the title. Martha Stewart, like, her husband was cheating on her and all that, but in the beginning she was like a supermodel, but it helped her become who she is. So it's like he was kicking her out for his energy field, because she was doing all this homemaking, living crap. That I guess we're all kind of living that. I wouldn't know, but yeah, she's kind of advanced, meaning like she's humble, but yeah, I didn't realize how big that's like a $1 billion company. I didn't realize how big it was. It's all just. Yeah, she just do all the homemaking and all that, just like perfected it. I had no idea it was that big. I remember seeing it, but then it all came crashing down. You say that was she went to jail and all that. I think it was just to stop the success, because she did that insider trading thing. But I guess jail was like, it's funny, she goes to jail, and it's like she kind of like lives the life of the everyday person. Because most people are kind of like living in jail. You have to get up, go to work. Food's not that great. It's kind of like jail. She's flying around in a jet and everything, and now that's all gone. Now you're living the life like everybody else, basically. Pretty much that's what that was. Her life in jail was living like everybody else. But she was there to help others, like inspire. I'm not sure how far that got, but it feels like she was there to, I guess she felt like jail was better than a lot of stuff in life. Yeah, well, that's the other thing about, would you rather live your life the way it is, or be famous and get trashed by everybody, or a good amount, that's a lot. Yeah, because her name just got, even as before she went to jail, her name got just rubbed into, it's just an easy target. People were jealous, a lot of jealousy for sure, because it's all like homemaking stuff. But she was like a perfectionist at that stuff. So, but then it all come tumbling. I didn't realize it was that big. I didn't realize it all fell apart though. I didn't pay much attention to it. It's like $1 billion company, and then it went just died. Well, it's the end of an era. We didn't need that anymore. But she's kind of a superstar still. But she's always easy. Yeah, she's not your normal person for sure. But to have that, like you're number one on the planet, and you go down to nothing. That's rough. It's still pretty rough though. I mean, because you get used to that spoiled life too. But then again, you go to jail, so you get to live like the rest of us. We're all poverty-ish, poor. Welcome to the real world. It's funny how jail is not much different than regular life. I mean, most people can't travel. Most people can't do anything. They're just stuck to their jobs. So you get up and you're just in the, you know, and But it is not to be a victim about it, but it's about, you come here to work and you are going up a lot. It is about growth. It's kind of messed up when you think about it. It's just like you're just like a mouse on a treadmill, or just you're on a spinning wheel, and you just have to just. That's why the cats are here to help us, and the other animals. The cats, obviously the animals here have a lot of issues too, and this is necessary for their growth too. It's definitely for the felines, definitely, because they become too lenient. And that's like too lenient, letting the wrong being. How many people have had that through their traumas, letting the wrong people into their lives, and their lives get thrown into the gutter basically at a young age. And that's what happened to the felines, it happened to Atlantis, and so on. Mother Earth also, letting just anybody come in and just wreck the place. So, and the idea is to clear that karma out and to just brush yourself off and keep going forward. And become. You'd be surprised. I mean, how many have had it all when they were younger, and like what, 15 or 16, kind of throw their whole lives away just like that. It's like, what the fuck is that about? No, who knows? It's as long as you keep going, it's all that matters. But yeah. So anyway, we're going to the incarnation energy. Yeah, we're just going to like the incarnation consciousness. And just do a quick, channeling of that, just what an incarnation is about, or, soul journey, and so on. All right, what's this? Green suit, we have the astral, a neutral connection, but also connected to your incarnation consciousness. It's school for the soul. The incarnation is basically to create an avatar for yourself, a name, rank, job description. It's kind of fun in the astral realms to put it together. Of course, when you see what you have to go through, it's like, oh. It's like you're creating your own video game, something like it. But once you dive into the ocean of this incarnation, it's all yours. It's like, just like when you like a deep sea diver. It's like, you're fine on the boat, but when you jump into the water, it's unknown territory. We can only do so much to save you or help you. It's kind of the same thing. Like if you're on the radio, like you're on the boat, like your guides are on the boat talking to you, and you're diving deep into the realm. It's just that you're diving into your incarnation, becoming a person, and having, cars or whatever it is, jobs, or some kind of wearing clothes for some bizarre reason, having hair that makes no sense. So you're diving into your incarnation, into the Wild West, basically. And yes, you're getting communications, but then again, sometimes communications gets blurry. And yes, connections get stopped or blocked. And it's like, how many of you have seen that in a movie or something, like in Star Trek or something? They can't communicate with the ship. But it's the same thing like with the guide energies, but you just gotta keep going. Eventually you'll make reconnect. Well, yeah, you can get blocked by other beings. You might go through hell or whatever it might be. Eventually your guides will reconnect to you and see what's going on. Sometimes they're just checking on you. What's going on with you? And it's like everything's fine. Everybody's crazy right now. Thanks. And I think I've lost my mind too. So it's just, and that's part of the growth also. It's can you get through the forest basically, and at the end of the forest basically is like surviving. It's more to it than that. They can't go into all the details of what you're getting out of this, but can you survive the forest? Yes, 30-year period, 50-year period, 60 years. It does get easier over time depending if you've kind of like phoned it in through your incarnation when you're younger. Yes, and get harder when you get older because you're making up for lost time when you're just sitting around doing nothing. So, but it's okay to have grace period. You can't work constantly, but you know, the going gets tough for a reason in certain time frames. So it can happen older and later in life where just like you have enough energy. You might feel like you're old and this and that, but you have enough energy to do more. So that's why it's there. If you're just worn out, your body is depleted, you just can't do it. The universe is like, okay, we'll just give you some time. There's more to it than that, but in your incarnation now, you have enough energy and time to explore and to do what inspires you really. And some might feel like they're blocked from their powers, and for some it's like, what are you going to do with those powers exactly? Were they used well in the past? Not always the case. Some are obsessed with getting their abilities back, but sometimes the powers are shut down for various different reasons. Is it going to help you in your incarnation? But it is about opening up your abilities. It is about helping others, but they'll happen naturally. And their abilities might be, their psychic abilities might be increasing, but they might not be able to handle it still. It's still unstable, meaning like, how can you help others and you can't help yourself? But you have a grace period of that. You have time, it doesn't mean the spirit realm is like, okay, you have your psychic abilities, I'm going to put you out on the world stage. Not necessarily. Sometimes you just deal with your abilities open up just to deal with someone that you know. Like here, I'm supposed to help others, but instead of dealing with this person or yourself, for that matter, this person and yourself. And yes, a partner can be your project, yes, but also the individual has to go through a lot of soul growth too. It's like taming a lion that's living in your home. Yeah, partnerships can be, it's like you're looking for where's my path? As if you're in a relationship and that relationship's difficult, there's your path right in front of you. It might not be what you're looking for, but there it is. Yeah, kind of married to it, you say technically. Blessings.